Welcome to Macrocode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with our help desk management system. So as you can see, this is the sign-in screen. So let's just log in. And within the dashboard, you're able to see some graphical statistics. So as you can see, we have the number of tickets per category, the number of tickets per category. They are actually different graphs, but it's actually representing the same thing. Then we have the number of tickets per subcategory, per status, and we now have those particular tickets here. So as you can see, we have our tickets divided into recent ticket, assigned ticket, resolved tickets, and the closed tickets. So under the recent tickets, these are all the tickets that has just been created. And as you can see, you have the number of tickets, the title, priority, ticket subcategory, created by, created on. You have the status, the number of comments, and even the duration. So as you can see on this particular ticket, it was created like 42 days ago and it has not been closed. So you see also this one, it has 42 days ago, and you also have, so it actually tracks the number of days this was created. Then you have the assigned tickets. So these are all tickets that has been assigned. As you can see, we have the filters. You can also filter. You have the resolved tickets. We also have the closed tickets. And as well, you have the ticket comments. So these are all the comments that has been added by those who created, and also for those who are actually actioning the tickets. Then you have the ticket categories. So you can categorize your tickets. So you have the main category and the subcategories. For example, you can see you have the ERP procurement or even finance, and we have hardware. So if you just click on subcategories, you'll be able to see the hardware subcategories. You see here you have the mouse, UPS, hard disk, shredder. So you're able to do that. Then you have the audit trail. So everything that you are doing within our application is being tracked. So you have the action, the module, the affected table, the timestamp, the IP address, and the user who did that. Then you have the system users. So these are all the users within the system. So we can see that you have the ID, the first name, middle name, last name, phone number, email address, and even the gender. Then you have the system codes. So in our system, what we are doing is, for example, gender, marital status, we are actually creating the groups. So these are kind of groupings: gender, marital status, priority. Then we have the system code details, which gives us the details of those particular grouping. For example, like gender, we have male and female, and you can always add any other additional gender that you want. So here we have the male and female. Even if it's priority, if we just search priority, you'll notice that we have the various priorities within the system. And these are medium, urgent, and very urgent. So you can always categorize them. Then you have the system roles. So these are roles within the system, and you can always add new role within the application. So if you just create the role, it will be able to be created within the system. Then you have the system tasks. So these are the modules or even the sub-module and the actions that can be done by the users. For example, like if you have the right to create ticket comments, or you have the right to view departments, or even to view the recent tickets module, or even to access the audit trail sub-module. Then you have the departments. So you can actually create the departments within the system. This will go a long way in mapping the users to various departments. Then you have the system settings. So everything that will be set, for example, the password expiry or the ticket resolution days, you can always set them here. So I want us to define something today. I want us to define the user profile. So whenever we are going on with this application, at some point, we'll need to define some roles and privileges within the system. So I want us to create a table that we'll be using to actually define the profiles and actually assign users to certain profiles. So let's just go back to the application, and what I want us to do here, I want us to create a model. So we are going to create a model, and we will be calling these, we'll be calling it user profiles. So let's just call it user role profile. So here I'll just create a model called user role profile. So then we can add. So this class, you can add few properties. So let me just stop our application. so that we are able to. So let me stop our app, and I'll be able to, let me zoom it so that you can see. So here on our user role profile, what I want us to do is we can just have the public. So we'll do public int. So I'll just do so let's just add the ID. So on this ID, let's just call it task ID, because this task ID will be key. So let's just call this this will be key. Then we'll also have, so this one will be a foreign key. So I'll just do system. It will be getting from the system tasks. So you remember our tasks, system tasks, kind of, they're actually modules, sub-modules, or even roles that can be done by the user. So, and also we can have the role ID. So this is the role. So a user with let's say administrator, can have a lot of tasks. So this one will have the role ID. So on this role ID, I want us to ensure that these roles are based on the system roles. So I'll just call here roles. So these will be system roles. So these will be user roles, I think. We call them user roles. Let's just see. We call them user roles. It should be role. Let's just see. Or you can even, let's just leave it as it is. Let's leave it as that way. So this one will be, and also this one will be key. So let's just do that. So since you have these two things, and I can also have here user activity, so that we know who created what and at what point. So since we have this, we can now go and add it on our application DB context. So let's just go to our application DB context, and we can have our user roles here, user profile. So we'll call these now. We'll call it user. We'll call it user role profiles, and we can call this user role profile. So after doing that, the next thing is to add migration. So we'll just do NuGet package manager console, and we are going to add migrations there. So let me just add migrations. So it's initializing the PowerShell host. So for those who are new to this channel and you are watching our videos, consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. And in case you want to support us, you can always claim the source code using the link down below. So I'll just add migration. Then you can say here user roles. So these will be user roles. Press enter. So it will generate the migration file, and you can always proceed and ensure that we can update the database with the new tables. So once we do this now. So once we do this now, we'll be able to assign users to roles and even to tasks. So that will be the best way to now start even restricting users from accessing certain pages. So for those who are following this video and it's getting interesting, please consider subscribing, like our video, comment down below, and you can always share. So, and in case you want to buy us coffee, you can use the link down below to buy us coffee. A hot one will be really amazing. So let's just wait and see how our applications look like. So it's now generating the migration file. Then we'll be able to update this to the database. So let's just see. So as you can see, our migration file has been generated. So as you can see here, we have the user profiles, the role ID, the task ID, created by, created or modified by, and the rest. So we just go here now and do update database. So if you just do update database, then our table with user profiles will be created, and we can now start to assign users to roles and even to tasks. So let's just see and be able to do that. So this is now running. So for those who are new to this channel, consider subscribing, like our video, comment down below, and let's just wait and see. So we are trying to update our database with the new tables for the user profile. So for those who are new to this channel, consider subscribing, like our video, comment down below, and let's proceed with this video. So build is succeeded. So it's now generating the commands and updating them. It's updating our table with all those fields. So this is okay. So we now have our migration completed. So the next thing that you need to do is to scaffold. So let's just do new scaffolded item. Then we can just now choose our model. So here we'll just use MVC controller with views using Entity Framework Core. Then we'll indicate the model that you're going to use, and then we generate the code. So that's the simple way of actually generating the code. So I'll just go to, so our model is user group, user role. So you can just do role profile. Then this is our controller. So if you click add, it will generate all the required code, and you can just go and now start updating. So as you can see, it is generating our code. So for those who are new to this channel, consider subscribing, like our video, and comment down below. So we are going to see how you can assign roles and tasks to users. Then you'll be able to see how you can actually restrict those rights to specific users and at what. So you'll be able to see how you can restrict those roles to specific users and minimize what they can actually access. So let's just see how this goes along. So it's generating our code. So let's just wait and see. So our code generation is done. So as you can see, we have our user profiles controller and all this. So if you go to our views, we'll now have user group. So you see we have user roles profile. So you can now style our index page. So let's just borrow what we had under tickets. So let's just borrow this particular section here. So I'll just copy from the head up to here. Then let's go to our index page. So this is our index page. So I'll just also update it here. So if we update that, we say these are user roles profiles. We can call them user profiles. Then here you'll say create. So we have that. So let's go and close it down here. So you're going to close it down here. So if we do this, then I can update it. So let's just update it. Format we see. So I think it's cool. So that is it. Then can just say add new profile. Then here we can also borrow the buttons that we've been using, edit and delete buttons. So for those who are watching this video for the first time, we have been doing this all along. So if you're new to this video, consider subscribing. So let me just borrow some of the buttons here. And these are the edit and delete buttons. So if we go to our user profiles index, I'll just paste this. Then we'll have that. I'll also borrow some of the items here and update our app. So I'll just do that. Then I can have it here. So as you can see, that is now cool. So if we go to our dashboard, so we need to append this to our dashboard. So that is, we go to our users, that is our layout, and shared. Then you're going to add these as part of our navigation. So we'll add this here. So we can call this user. So we'll call this user profile. So we'll call it user profiles. Then we can change the controller system tasks. So we'll just use the user profile. So we'll just copy that. Then if we do that, we can remove the word controller. So if we now launch our app, so let's just launch our app and see. So we should now be able to access our user profiles, and we should be able to assign them to roles and even to some of the tasks. So let's just launch our app and see. So for those, so our application is launching. So as you can see, so let's just provided my username and password. And when I click sign in, I should be able to access. So let's just see. So there we go. So we'll be going now to our, so as you can see down here, we have our user profiles. So if I click user profiles, we should be able to see we don't have anything. If I click add new profile, it should give us an option to select now the task. See, this is the task. You see the role, and we have the users. So we can always remove these other ones and just remain with the task and the role. So let's just go back to the create. So here, you remember we need to remove our creation. So we're going to remove these two and also this one. We're only having two fields here. So I'll just do here 12, and I can do here. So here I'll just do row. So I'll just do here row, and I can always close this div. So we'll now be having these two, and I can just call this call md6. You can close this here, and I can also have this here, and I can close it here. So that is cool. So the next thing that you need to do is, remember whenever we are creating this particular user roles, so you can actually change even the naming. So let's just go to the user role profile, and you can call this, system task. So here we'll call this display. It should be display name. Then we can have our name there, system task, and you can also have our role. So these will call them system role. So as you can see, this is how we've designed our user profile activity. We added this, so you can always make changes. So if we go back to our create CRUD option here, then we need to ensure that we are only seeing not the IDs but the names. So you can see here we have the created by, so we don't need these ones. The roles here we'll need the name. So I don't know if the role is, we need the name, but on the task, so let's just see on the tasks and the role as well. Do we use the role name? We call it role name. So let's just see. So we want to ensure that we are using the correct labels. So that is not the case. Let's just go back to controller roles, and you should be able to see if the role, so let's just see that particular model. So if you come here, you notice the role, we have the role name. So I want us to go to this. I want us to go to user profiles, then under role, let's call this role name. For the task is the system tasks. So let's check on that particular model. So I'll just go here, then system task, then we want the name. So this one we want to display. So I'm going here back, then I can just use this one. So I'll just say name. Same case to these others. So I'll just remove this. and you can say here we want role name, and this is the name. Then you can also do the same on editing. We remove that, then we call this role name, and this is name. But now when you come to creation, if we remove these two, let's remove the binding. What I want us also to do is I want us to, let's do away with this. We'll be using automapper in our next video, so don't worry. Then we'll be now implementing the is model state. So here I'll just do created on, and I'll get the date time dot. So this is the date time. Then I'll just do now. Then for the user, remember the created by ID. This should be, so we should get the user ID. So we can just borrow from what we have been doing. Let me just copy. So if you want to see how you get the user who is logged in, I think we have it somewhere here. So user ID, where is it? Under create. So let's just see. So yes, here. So the user ID, you see this? This is the user ID here. So you can just borrow it and have it here. Then you can always supply the user ID here. So since you have that, then you can be able to save. You can also update these on our update edit function. So you can do away with that. Do away with this. Then here, remember we are doing role name. So I'm not sure if this is the correct name, so we'll see. So this is the name. Then this is it. So try catch. So yeah. Then this is the user profile created on. That's okay. So if we launch our app now, we should now be able to create those particular roles. So let's just launch our app and see. So we are going to create a role. We are going to create a task, that is assign a role to a particular task. So that if you are a system administrator, maybe you can see the audit trails, you can see the user tickets that has been created, you can resolve them. So that is what we are doing. So let's just see this kind of assigning roles to tasks and what they need to do. So let's just launch our app and see. So it's launching. So for those who are new to this channel, consider subscribing, like our video, comment down below, and let's just proceed with our video. So we are going to assign roles to tasks and some of the actions that they can perform within the system. So I'll sign in. So let's just see. So once we sign in, we should be now in a position to update some of the details there. So I'm logged in. So let's go to our user roles. And when we are there, if we add new role, so if everything is okay, you should be able to launch. But if there is something, so yeah, so you can see we have an error. So there is an issue with our namings. So let's just see. You see the role ID. So the name is wrong. So we should be able to ensure that our name, if we go back to roles, we should be able to know that the role is the name. So let's just go and change in our user profiles, search for role name and replace this with the name. So that is it. So it has replaced, yes. So let's do away with this binding, and we can now relaunch our app. So let's relaunch and see. So I'm going to relaunch it, and we can now assign a task to a role. So our app is launching, so let's just wait. So there we go. So if I just sign in, let's just wait and see. Be able to. I'm going to sign. So there we go. So you can see if we go to user profiles, then add new. So it should give us now the two. So you can see we have the system task. So you can see I have the system tasks here. So if I say I want the system administrator to see the dashboard, so I can do that, then I can say create. So this should create our system tasks and assign that particular role. So you can see it has created. You can also say I want the system administrator to be able to do to create departments. So if I do that, then that is done. So let's also do another one. I want also the system administrator maybe to view the audit trails. So you can see here, you can say here system administrator. So I can assign it. So, but this one is tiresome. So you can see you can be assigning one task at a time. So let's just remove the modified by and the rest on there. So let's just try to do something here. So here I'm going to remove the modified by details. Then here also I'll try to remove them. So on our system user role profiles under index, let's just see if it included the, so you can see here user roles, it included the created by, the modified by, and also the role and even the task. That means when you go to our index, we should now be able to use here the role name. We can use here the role, the created by. This is the full name. So you'll have the full name, and here you can say the task name. And you can also, maybe you can have the ID. So let's just have the ID here, item.id. Then here we'll just also use the ID. So I'll just do here ID. So if we relaunch our app, so let's relaunch and see. So we should be able now to see things in a very clear way. So instead of seeing the strings and IDs of users, we should be able to see the names and all the details, the created by, full name, and even the dates. So let's just launch and see. So let's just launch and see. So logging into the application. So there we go. So if we go to system user profiles, then we should be able now to see. So as you can see, we have now the task, dashboard, system administrator, created by and created on. So you should now be able to see all these profiles in a tabular format. So if you just new, you can actually select that you want to do that. But this, I'll show you the best way on how we can do this so that you're able to see even per module on what you are doing. So I'm going to leave it there for today. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, like the video, and see you in our next video. Bye.